It's just this listing that they have. This is the only item that he has. And that's what my point is. This is all this guy has. Hey everyone, my name is Mason T, and I am an international importer slash e-commerce professional. But more importantly, I have been doing business successfully for over 20 years the traditional way. And today I'm going to show you how through my case studies. This is your chance to get into the mind of a pro and see things the way I see them. Getting into any marketplace is going to look like a sea of sellers, and it's going to look like there's a lot of items here filled, and there's pages and pages of it. Standing as an outsider looking in, this looks like a wall of competitors. Now, I've chosen today to use the example of the studio lights category. If any of you are familiar with studio lights out there, you'll know that this particular category of items is dominated by the China market, mainly companies from Shenzhen or Guangdong. So companies like Newer, Nanlite, GVM, Aperture have all amazing sites and amazing items, and they carry pretty much everything. It's like all filled over here. So how do you get into this? Like, why would somebody buy from you, a new small seller, as opposed to anybody else? Well, your first knee-jerk reaction might be, well, maybe I'll sell something cheap, or if I could get my hands on something, so I could sell something a little bit low cost or whatever. But if you do this, essentially you're starting off on the wrong foot, and initially you're just getting into a price war, trying to be that small seller doing that low cost item. Today's hero of the story is MOUNTDOG softboxes. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to this particular item in the description. Okay, no affiliate links, none of that nonsense. Okay, this is strictly for educational purposes. This is somebody who slipped through the cracks. He has one unique item here that stands out against all of the other items. So if we deep dive this item on YouTube and we type in MOUNTDOG softbox lighting kit, you'll see there's a lot of reviews, a lot of videos for it. This guy, Ben Johnson, did a review, right? His channel is huge. He has 200,000 subscribers, and he talked about how this is the best value light for YouTube, and it's under $50. So here you see him, 200,000 subscribers, affiliate links in here, and he gives a glowing review of this item. So of course, this is going to boost sales for them tremendously. For this video, this is Nolan Molt from Think Media. As you can see, he's got 3 billion subscribers here, and he does a comparison of 3 soft boxes. And if we fast forward to over here, what he thinks at the end of the day, which is he recommends the MOUNTDOG. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of this video so that you guys can get an idea of how he feels about this item.
Now, what really makes the winning light stand out is that the brightness control is really unbeatable. The fact that you can really dial in your brightness makes this light just stand out from all the other lights that are in this price range.
Okay, so basically we just heard that this light is the only light that has adjustable features on it. And that's what's super important. Okay, so basically, whoever MOUNTDOG is came into this field and saw that there's all these big players, and all of these big players with all of their daunting inventory to dwarf, any other seller's inventory. Okay, you see that they have soft boxes and stuff, right? However, if you did a deep dive into this niche and into this marketplace, you would have caught that, wait, something is missing, because you see it from exactly the lens of the buyer. If you were to get into this, and let's say you just wanted something really, really low cost, very, very low cost effective, because you just want to get into this. You'll see that there are a lot of studio lights out there for cheap. However, they all come with a fixed light system. So this guy clearly knows a little bit about lighting and its equipment and the available items out there. In the old days, most of the lights, the studio lights, use fluorescent bulbs, and they were very difficult to control. Sometimes you would have to change bulbs, sometimes you would have to work with the distancing, or you would have to own like many different types of sizes of softboxes. But now, with the invention of like LEDs and how it's exploded in the market, this guy most likely went to a factory and said, hey, can we do an adjustable LED light bulb? So it's just the light bulb rather than an expensive cob light that goes into a bulb holder. And then we can control it with just this cheap remote control, and then put it in a very, very simple box, and then we'll just use a very, very cheap tripod. This tripod most likely doesn't even have spring system or a gas pressure system, but you know, then again, it's just holding up a light, so it probably doesn't need that kind of protection. But more importantly is that this guy saw what is being left on the table. That's what's most important. That from the user experience, there's probably a lot of people coming onto Amazon and looking for something like this, but the problem is they're not adjustable. At the same time, even though the guys in the video were giving glowing reviews, they had real legit reason to give it a glowing review. And they're more than willing to go ahead and promote your item for this reason, because you are truly offering a really good alternative that people really are truly looking for. However, had you not been in this field, you couldn't have seen this crack in the wall for you to slip in. So here's where it gets really interesting, okay? If I go over here and then I show you the MOUNTDOG website for Amazon, you'll see that they seem to be a giant themselves. But if I scroll down further over here, other than this is one of their first items that they sold, which is just a backdrop rack. But if you look at this, currently unavailable, 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 it just keeps going, right? So what is available at the end of the day? Basically, it's just this listing that they have. This is the only item that he has. And that's what my point is. This is all this guy has. And because he did this, his first unicorn item, you could see that he slipped through the cracks. And on top of that, by showing you this, I think some of you guys who are a little smarter in the class have started to figure it out. You know he's up and coming. He made some money through that first softbox item. He sold so many sets that now he's coming after the big dogs, right? He's one of them now. He's going to join the ranks now, and he's going to have ring lights, right? And he's going to end up, you know, coming out with eventually his own cob lights and possibly neon tubes and stuff, and sell possibly everything else that Nanlite, Newer, and GVM is also carrying. You see what I'm saying? Now, another thing that I wanted to show you guys that's real interesting is that if we go back and we search Studio Light again, and then we scroll down a little bit, there's this guy called TORJIM. And TORJIM essentially offers a very, very comparable, similar kit to what MOUNTDOG is doing. The only difference the significant difference that I really see between the two is that TORJIM offers it in 16x16 and his remote control is white. That's pretty much all there is to it. But again, he's also offering a kit under $50 that's adjustable. And perhaps if you compare it, I'll also leave the link for TORJIM in the description below, and you'll see that when you check out both stock photos, they really play off of each other. It's even most likely that either TORJIM was probably the original manufacturer that MOUNTDOG was dealing with, and now they're backdooring the item, or perhaps somebody else saw exactly what I'm teaching you guys today, and he's like, screw it. That item looks good. I'm going to piggyback off of his idea because I kind of understand the lighting industry as well. So I'm going to do it as well. This is exactly falls under all of that idea of natural progression. You do something and it's starting to work, somebody else is going to follow along. And lucky for him, he's probably in this game as well. And that's why he has so many ratings. But MOUNTDOG probably already made his money before TORJIM noticed. And certainly this has slipped through the radar of all of the other big guys, because if you search their sites, they don't have anything of this category. This is exactly how to develop your competitive edge. See, he didn't just go ahead and import some lights and just try to join the conversation. He really, truly looked around and said, okay, you guys are selling this. You guys are selling that. But nobody's selling this. And I think people are looking for that. Or he might even win from a perspective of frustration where he was originally looking just for lights for himself and noticed that, damn, there's all these cheap kits out there and I have to spend a lot of money in order to get something that's adjustable. Like I have to go into the $100 price tag in order to get something adjustable. Could I come out with something, to fill that void? And that's what he did. And success. And that's exactly what I'm talking about.